Hi, my name is William Gonzalez, and in this video we will continue our $1,000 challenge, so let's get to it. Here we go. So let me give a recap of our last video, which the link will be in the description below. So in our last video, we took a challenge to turn $200 into $1,000 by flipping and fixing items. One particular item that we found was on Facebook Marketplace, which was an 82-inch LG Smart TV, which was purchased for $125. With all expenses included, we had a total investment of $188. We ended up selling the TV for $625, leaving us a profit of $437. Fast forward to this video, we will be continuing our challenge. For this challenge, we currently have a budget of $625 to find an item on Marketplace to flip or fix. For this video, we will be sticking to one of the resources that I'm very useful with, which is Facebook Marketplace, to find the next item to flip or fix. One recommendation I tell everybody when flipping or fixing items is always to master and educate yourself on a specific niche, then move on to another one. Me in particular, I have ventured into flipping and fixing electronic items such as TVs, game consoles, cell phones, etc. So sticking to my niche, I decided to search Facebook Marketplace for some fixable TVs. As you see, some keywords I use when searching for TVs that I could potentially flip or fix are smart TVs. I tend to stick to TVs that are 60 inches or bigger because of the demand people have to want big TVs. Another important detail when flipping or fixing items is knowing the consumer's wants and being able to provide at an affordable price. You can also use specific sizes, such as I did in this search, which was 60-inch smart TV. In searching Marketplace, I came upon a 60-inch Vizio smart TV that was listed for $20. The seller was stating that the TV potentially needed a new power supply. I asked the seller what the TV model was, so that I could do some research on the estimated cost to replace the power supply. Upon my research, I have discovered a power supply for this specific TV was going between $69 and $90. So I estimated the total investment into the TV would be between $89 and $110, which I feel we can at least double our investment. I reached out to the seller to purchase, and we agreed upon a $20 purchase price. We set up a pickup time, and now it's time to actually go pick up the TV, so let's go. One thing I always recommend to everyone learning their niche or venturing into new ones: spend time building your craft and utilizing all the resources we have available in life. Some resources can be people that you may know in your personal life, that you are willing to teach and mentor you in specifics. Or you can use one of the greatest educational resources that I personally use every day, which is the amazing world of YouTube. Specifically for this fix, I searched common failures for the Vizio M60-C3. I came upon a video that stated that the fix for the power supply can be something as simple as 4 capacitors. The video goes into depth on how to diagnose the TV and how to replace the capacitors if this is the issue. The link of the video will be in the description. We finally got back to the house. Now let's run through some things to truly see what's wrong with this TV. As we see, the TV is plugged in, and we are trying to power on the TV with the remote, but we are getting no power on. Let's verify the TV model on the back of the TV to ensure we have the information needed to order parts or look up any questions we may have about the TV. We have figured out there's actually no power to the TV, so let's open it up and further investigate what the issue for no power is. Watching the video on the common failures of the M60-C3 has helped me out so much understanding what we are actually looking for and giving us a foundation on where to start. As you see, we finally took off the back of the TV. On this specific TV, we see that this particular model has 4 boards. The first board that we will be taking a look at is the power supply, which I suspect is the issue with the TV. Next, we will see at the bottom of the TV the T-CON board, which converts the video signal from the main board to the actual display. The next board that we see is the main board. The main board is the brain of the TV, which processes all the voltages and video signals to the rest of the TV. And finally, we have the LED driver board, which regulates the current for the backlights. So looking at the power supply, we're inspecting the board for any burnt or broken components. Furthermore, we look around to ensure that all cables are properly connected and to see if any of the boards have any broken parts. After inspecting the boards for the TV, I seen that some of the capacitors on the power supply have some bulging to them. And seeing these capacitors being bulged is leading me to believe that it is the issue for the TV for not having power. Those 4 capacitors are responsible for voltages to the main boards and LEDs, which with no output would be a reason for the TV not powering on. Just to ensure that the capacitors are actually not functioning correctly, we will take our multimeter, which can be purchased online through Amazon or even at a local hardware store, and test the actual capacitors for constant voltage. So we set our multimeter to DC voltage and place the positive and negative leads to each of the individual capacitors and see if we get a constant voltage. As we see, the capacitors that are testing are jumping around and not giving us a constant voltage needed to make sure the TV functions correctly, causing it not to turn on. So now that we've figured out what is the issue, instead of purchasing a new power supply, I'm going to replace the 4 individual capacitors, which we will look for on Amazon and see how much they go for. Before we purchase the capacitors, we must check the original capacitors to ensure that we get the correct replacements. As we see, the original capacitors are marked that they are 1000 UF by 16 volts. Now that we know the correct replacement specs, we will search Amazon and find the ones we need. So we searched Amazon and found the ones that we needed. We found a 6-pack of the capacitors for a total price of $7.80 plus tax, bringing it out a total to $8.30. For people that are not experienced with soldering, you can just purchase a replacement board, but for this flip, I will be desoldering the bad capacitors and replacing them with the new ones, saving us about $60 through $70. The parts finally arrived and we need to take the power supply off the TV. The board is finally off and we will be using some of the tools that I have purchased to complete the job. These tools I have purchased over time as I've researched and studied what tools I would need for repairing electronics. Some of the tools that we will be using are a soldering machine, liquid flux, electronic solder, and a desoldering pen. For time purposes, I will time-lapse the repair and we will see the final product. We finally finished the repairs, and as you see, it's resoldered. Just to be very honest, I'm not the best solderer, but through practice and over time, I will get better. With the board being finished up, we will reinstall the power supply and see if it fixed the power issue. Now with the board installed, we will check to see if the power indicator light is working, and we will push the power button to make sure the TV is functioning correctly. As we see, we are getting the power indicator light, so that's a good sign showing that the power supply is functioning. Now we will press the power button on the remote and see what we get. And just like that, we see the TV is fully functioning and the TV is working correctly. With time and a little bit of research, we were able to fix this TV for $8.20. We will reassemble the TV, give it a good cleanup, take some pictures, and we'll go ahead and repost it back on Facebook Marketplace.
So it's been 1 day since we posted the TV on Facebook Marketplace and we got multiple offers. So originally we posted the TV for $350, our best offer,
but in this particular item, we end up selling for $225, which me in particular, I like to flip and fix items quickly so I don't sit on inventory too long. So now that the TV is sold, let's look at some numbers and see what our total profit is. So for this flip, we ended up purchasing the TV for $20 off Facebook Marketplace. Parts included, it came out to $8,020 after taxes. We spent around $5 to pay for gas to be able to go pick up the TV, leading us a total investment of $33.20, which I would say is a low cost investment. So we take our final sale price of $225 and we subtract the $33.20 that we invested, leaving us a total profit of $191.80. So adding our profit of $191.80 to our original budget of $625, we are left with $816.80 for our next fix or flip item. Just imagine making an extra $600 a week on your free time or even just your weekends. Through hard work, discipline, and consistency, anything is possible. Just keep your eye on the prize and always remember the greater purpose. Always remember, there will be some great days and not so great days, but the most important thing is, some progress is better than no progress. As we finish up this video, we see that we're $183.20 away from our $1,000 goal, which all these were made within a week's time frame. Once we reach our $1,000 goal, I will be giving away $200 to one of my lucky subscribers for them to start their own journey to creating some sources of income and financial freedom. I'm a firm believer in the saying, to whom much is given, much is required. We all have something to contribute to in this lifetime, so let's all share our knowledge with one another so that we can all prosper and grow together. If there's any information or videos that you would like for me to cover in the future, leave a comment below this video. If you found any knowledge or value in this video, would you give a like, comment, or subscribe and share with others this video so that others can grow as well. I thank you for your time and hope to see you on the next one.